radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right. Good evening. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, it's Fade to Black. Today is Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Let's do this, man. Yeah. Woo, what a week on Fade to Black. Monday night, Laird Scranton was here. Advanced Alien Tech, great conversation. Tuesday night, Leela Hutchison was here. And great research and a great book, Contact in the Chihuahuan Deserts. Last night, Timothy Hogan, worldwide Grand Master of the Knights Templar, was here talking about ancient alchemy. A great, great conversation last night. But tonight, it's our once a month AMA AJA where you get to ask me anything. Yeah. So before we get started, you guys know the rules, but there may be some new faces in here tonight. No, that always happens. Put your questions in all caps in the live chat. I've got the live chat live in front of me right here. And so, post your questions in all caps. Lots of action in the chat room, everybody. And as that goes by, I don't know, a question from you guys just yapping with each other. So put your questions in all caps so I will see them. Makes sense? It does. This is personally, this is my favorite night of the month when we do get together and do this. It's just fun. It's fun for me. I hope it's fun for you, but it's fun for me. I get to take a night off, normally, just about every night of my life. I'm interviewing. I'm the host. And right. This is my opportunity to flip that and get out of that mode. And I love that mode. I love that mode of being the host. I really do. I look forward to every show. I'm excited about every guest. I'm excited to hang out with all of you. And it's great. And I get pumped up and I'm ready to go. And right. Okay. But sometimes you just got to change things up a little bit, don't you? You do. Okay. All right. So that's what it is tonight. Ask me anything. Everything's on the table. Yeah. I'll just leave it there. I've never had any boundaries. I'm not going to start. Okay. All right. Makes sense. All right. Let's get it going. Oh, I've also decided no commercial tonight. I'm just going to run straight through. I almost had a comment. Today I rode my street glide, and it's really hot here right now. It's really hot. I mean, it's like hot. The real hot. It's that Palmdale Mojave Desert hot. And so I go out, and it's so hot that normally as you speed up and the wind hits you, you cool down. It's so hot here. The wind is so hot that as you speed up, the wind is hotter than everything else. And it's just like a furnace, like sticking your face in an oven that's on 400 degrees. and it's preheated, right? That heat that comes out. I was like, man, this is merciless. So I had to slow down. Now, I have two bikes. I have a racing bike. I have the touring bike. Racing bike is loud. It's fast. Looks good. You get on that and it's just got attitude and you want to drive like a punk. And I do. I do. Man, I'm weaving out of traffic, just whop, 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 whop. Just because I love the sound of the engine. I'm who I used to complain about, right? Anyway, so there's that. But the Street Glide, even though it's got just as much power, it's heavier, but it's got just as much power as the racing bike. But it's big and it's heavy, and it's an old man's bike. That's what it's for. It's just old men like me. Anyway, I drove that so slow today. Oh man, because the faster I went, the more heat was hitting me. And I caught myself in it like a 55-mile-an-hour zone, which is the speed limit here in Palmdale on every street. I'm doing 50 instead of 75 like I normally. And I was like, I'm that old dude. I'm that old dude. And I caught myself thinking those thoughts, and I didn't speed up. And now here's the thing. This is what I found out. Then we'll start the show. I have a few normal routes. I have like 5 standard routes, maybe 7, that last about an hour, maybe 90 minutes, and it's a quarter tank of gas. Okay? No matter what. I'm used to it. Sometimes it's more than a quarter tank. Today I did one of those routes, and I used this much, not a quarter tank. The gas gauge didn't even move. Yeah. I'm not ever going to do that again. You need to be a rebel. Just blow through the flames, blow through the heat, and don't wuss out, because I wussed out today. It was really funny. All right, let's go. Let's get this started. Ask me anything. Post your questions in all caps. I see Renee is up in front. Let's see, man. What just happened? Oh, okay, got it. Oh, Bill's here. I thought Bill was on a hot date. I see Ken Priest is in the house. Ken, how you doing, brother? I'm sure Ken's probably posted a question. Okay, all right. Let's see, Bill, I'm glad you were here. Just try to avoid sure. Bill, I'm glad you made it, man. I'm glad you made it in. Okay, all right. So let's get to the top here. Let me scroll through. Let's see what we got going. And first up is Renee, of course. Let's see. Renee's got Jimmy. Could you update us on your house ghosts? Oh, okay. Here we go. Or any other recent unexplained paranormal happenings at home that you'd like to share? Actually, I do. Are you ready? It's kind of disturbing because I haven't figured it out yet. This happened yesterday. This is a magnetic filter that covers one of the fans on my computer. All right. See that? It's got magnets on this side and it sticks. This was in the middle of my studio floor yesterday. Yep. Face up, by the way, the dust side. I haven't cleaned it off. And I didn't even know what it was. I come in the studio and it's in the middle of the floor. And I looked at it. I thought, what is that? All right. And I picked it up and I see what it is. Now, how did it get there? You know, my computer is like 6 feet away from where this was. And the reason why I'm holding it and it's not back on the computer is I can't figure out where it goes. Yeah. I haven't pulled the computer out. I don't know if it goes underneath, on top, on the side. It's got a glass case. So there isn't anything on the side. It's got a glass front. So it goes on there somewhere. Maybe on the back. I haven't pulled the computer out. But yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And it wasn't like when other stuff is moved in here, I just like, lost it. But what are you going to do? What? Yeah. Crazy, isn't it? Right in the middle of the floor. I would have loved to have seen it happen. That would have been really cool. Great question to start off the show. Thank you so much, Renee. Thank you for everything that you do. I just said that to Chris Z. Chris Z is in here tonight. He's such a rock star. Everybody loves Chris. Chris is in the chat room, and I said to him, I don't thank you enough, for everything that you do for the Fadernauts and in this show. I just can't thank you enough. The same thing with Bill, Jessica, John. I don't thank you guys enough. So just thank you. Okay, moving on. Oh, speaking of John, John's up next. What would be the best pickup for my new TeamU Telecaster? That's a great question. Well, first off, anything Seymour Duncan. I think John and I were talking about this via email earlier this week, and I suggested this to him. Anyway, anything Seymour Duncan. And so this is what I was thinking about doing with my Jimmy Page Telecaster is putting in a YJM, an Yngwie pickup in there, or a Seymour Duncan classic Strat. But here's the thing: the Telecaster pickup is a different size. It's not like a bolt-in. It looks like it, but it's not. So that kind of put the kibosh on that. So but I think they make a 1/4 pound Tele pickup, but that's also single coil, which is fine if that's what you want. You want that Tele sound. But here's the alternative that I'm thinking about without routing the whole, and because I love the sound of the YJMs. I've got them in like 4 Strats, right? You see that Strat right there? See that? Hold on. How do I move my finger over? Right there. That white Strat. That's an Yngwie Strat with the YJMs in it. And that thing sounds great. And then next to it on the wall right there is another white Strat. And that's got YJMs in it. Just like right here, next to me. And I love the sound of those pickups. And I have the classic Stacks too as well. But they're smaller. They're different size. So here's the alternative, John. Take the pick guard off the TeamU Tele and see if the bridge pickup is routed, the body is routed for a humbucker. If I was going to make a guess, I don't think they route 2 different bodies. I think they just route or 2 different routes. I bet it's routed for a humbucker. So they can do both. And if it's routed for a humbucker, then change the bridge, put a humbucker bridge in there, and put a humbucker in there with a coil tap on the volume knob, push-pull coil tap. So you can have your single coil and your humbucker like a regular Tele. That's what I would do. Or if you really want to get adventurous, see if you can squeeze a Strat pickup in there, a YJM or a classic stack, Seymour Duncan classic stack. All right. That's what I would do. That's my thing. And I haven't done it yet to mine, but I think that's the move. Next question, Chris Z. Hi, Jimmy. Are you a soccer fan? I am. What did you watch any of the World Cup? I watched a pretty good chunk of it. I did. I think some of the Argentinian soccer players use dirty tricks to win. I'm glad Spain beat them in the final. Yeah, that final match was pretty good. I've always been a soccer fan. I became a soccer fan when I moved to Panama when I was a kid. I didn't even know what soccer was, football. Didn't know. Became a huge fan of it while living in Panama, and that has never stopped for me. I enjoy watching soccer whenever it's on. I do. It's amazing. It's amazing. So now back to, I think that the World Cup this year was as good as any World Cup. I thought it was exciting. The United States going down like they did. I'll make one comment about that, and it'll let you know how much I watched the World Cup. The World Cup, when you get into the 8, when you get into the 4, when you get into the 8, when you get into the 16, when you go from the 16 to the 8, those teams that get there don't make mistakes. Okay? That's when you get to that level, you get there because you don't make mistakes, and you beat somebody that made mistakes. And that was the big lesson that the United States team got. You can't make mistakes. Not at that level. You can't even make one. And the United States made a bunch of mistakes. Just idiot mistakes. So, I wasn't even upset when the United States lost. They got that far. Okay, that's cool. But when you make those kind of mistakes, if you make no mistakes and you get beaten and you're beaten by a better team, okay, all right, that's kind of cool. When you make those kind of mistakes, you're just like, man, whatever. No, you can't make those kind of mistakes and win. But it was excellent. I watched all of it. I watched all of the 16, all of the 8, all of the 4. The quarters, the semis, and of course the finals. And I thought it was exciting. I thought it was just excellent. So there you go. All right, next up. This is from Carl. Carl, Jimmy, do you think Hamilton will win a championship? What is this, sports night? Okay, we can talk the conspiracy of sports. I like Hamilton. I like Ferrari. All right. In a weird way, when it comes to Formula One, and I like NASCAR, I don't watch Indy anymore. I do like NASCAR. I try to catch that as often as I can, but I'm a huge fan of Formula One. And I'm so much of a fan of Formula One. Now, Ferrari's my team. Whatever's going on, Leclerc is he's doing great. Lewis is doing great. Okay, so, but you know who I'm a fan of in Formula One? I'm going to flip everybody out if you're a Formula One fan. I like Gasly. I do. Pierre Gasly. I like Gasly. This many rookies this year took a while to get used to, but watching the rookies kind of break through is pretty exciting. But seeing 19-year-old Kimi doing what he's doing right now, I just don't think he has any fear. Kimi hasn't. When you start to become a veteran driver in any sport, now you've had accidents, you've had scares, you've done this, you've done that, and you think about these things. I don't think he's got any of that stuff right now in his mind. He's fearless. You know, he's just out there, man, doing his thing. And that is a scary situation for all the other drivers. Kimi he just don't care. I want to say another word. He don't give up, if you know what I mean. But Hamilton, we got Hungary this weekend. He's got a good crack at that. So does Leclerc. So does Kimi. Well, we will see. I like all of the teams though. I like McLaren a lot. I like Alpine. I feel bad for Cadillac. Every single man, Aston Martin, I just feel bad. Haas, Williams, I feel just, that all those mid-pack teams, it's always a struggle. And then everybody that's always in, those last 4 positions of every single race. It's really tough. It's really tough. But I like Gasly. I like Hamilton. I like Leclerc. Max, he's coming back a little bit. But there you go. I'll go back to the actual question. I could talk about Formula One all night. Hamilton may have one more in him, and he's my pick for the weekend. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Next up, sports night here on Fade to Black. It's sports night here on Fade to Black. Talking a little Formula One tonight. Lewis Hamilton in Hungary at the Hungaroring. All right. Let's see. Charles is up next. Charles, what if aliens decided to sit down and talk to you just to know more about human life from your side? Can you share your thoughts? Man, that's a great question. You know what I would say? I would say that we humans, we earthlings, are sophomoric, stupid punks. Just dumb. But we have big hearts and we mean well. That's what I would say. I realize that we're idiots. We're a planet of dolts. I get that. We laugh at farts, right? Poop jokes. That's our humor. We're just, but we mean well. It's that sophomoric thing, that younger brother doofus thing. That's where we are. But we mean well, and we know how to love and we know how to laugh. Yeah, we do stupid stuff. But just give us a chance. That's what I would say. That sums up the planet. It does, doesn't it? Right? It just does. I mean, we're getting better. We're sophomoric teenagers doing sophomoric teenager stuff. Doing donuts in the snow in your parents' car and wrecking it. When you got your driver's license when you're 16. That's where we are. But we mean well. We got big hearts. That's what I would tell them, because it's the truth. We can't match intelligence. What am I saying? We're really smart. We really know stuff. No, that's a lie. Right? That's a lie. We're full of hate. No, we're not. That's a lie. We're just doofuses. Men and women, boys and girls, all of us, old, young, just doofuses. We are. We do. Oh, man. Can you imagine E.T. coming down and going to a country bar and seeing line dancing being taught? Big old belt buckles, coming down to planet Earth and watching the movie Friday. Yeah, it's just like, is this really you? Well, yeah, it is. And I love it. We're just, okay. We have big hearts, man. We have big hearts. That's a great question. You got to be honest. You got to be honest about it. All right. What's up next? MWL. What does MWL stand for? Is that a San Francisco 49ers? Anyway, MWL. Tell me what MWL stands for. The world wants to know. If the government finally admitted it possesses non-human technology, the very next question we should all be asking is, for how long? How long? How long have you had it? Yeah. When did this start? That's the absolutely. Not what does it do? Is it anti-gravity? Is it 0-point energy? Is it phaser cannons? Whatever it is. No, that's no. For how long? How long have you had this tech? Yep. First question out of the gate. Yeah. Johnny Cochran style. Just go straight at it. Perry Mason. Just straight to the point. For how long? That's cool. Glad you have it. For how long? Yep. Not where did it come from? How did you get it? Did you trade humans for it? Human trafficking? No. How long? How long? That's the next question. MWL, great question. And I'll say it again. What does MWL stand for? Man, I keep looking at this. Let's see. Remember, all caps, man. I need all caps, please, because I'm just scrolling through here. I'm not looking. I need all caps. All right, here we go. Nemo's Odyssey. Have you guys seen the Odyssey yet? Have you guys seen the Odyssey? Schliemann's Gold. Have you guys seen the Odyssey? I'm going to go see it tomorrow night. Kind of weird. I'm going to get to Nemo's Odyssey's question. Kind of weird watching and hearing some of the feedback from the Odyssey, and the Iliad, Homer. What most people lose sight of. It's a friggin' poem. You know what I mean? It's great. I remember freshman year in high school reading the Odyssey for a semester, both Homer tales in ninth grade, and just getting wrapped up in it. All right. Now, I don't think at any point I was like, yeah, this is factual. This is nonfiction. I don't think that ever went through my mind, but the story itself, woo, man, I loved it. Now to find out, Schliemann and finding Troy and the gold and all of that, and finding out that part is true, the Trojan horse, and I don't know. But it's like today, people are, criticizing its whether Helen of Troy is real, if the story is real. Don't you remember? Don't you? It's Homer's Odyssey. I don't know. And all of that. And this is the other thing where people just lose sight of. They don't know actually what year. Now they're guessing, 800 BC, when these stories started to surface, these tales, the folklore of it all. And then they tried to put a historical date on the Odyssey to around 11 or 1200 BC. Do you know how long ago that is? And in the case of when the Odyssey took place, or Troy, that was before the Greeks even had a written language. Yep. Yep. So there's no historical writing of this when it actually went down. So we don't know. So I'm going to go see it tomorrow night, and I'm going to enjoy the crap out of it and upset everybody else. Oh, what was Nemo's question? What is one encounter story you believe and disbelieve? Well, man, there's so many that I believe. I saw something the other night in my driveway. I believe that. Are you talking about a story that's out there in public? Man. It's just a long list. It's a long list. Going into the disbelief category. Rendlesham Forest, Roswell, Phoenix Lights. I mean, just those are three, just like, off of the top of my head. But I could just go down the list. I can go down. It's so long. Disbelief. Oh man, what stories do I struggle with? I struggle with Lazar. I struggle with Jonathan Reed. I do. Jonathan Reed's been on the show. He's a very likable guy. When those broadcasts first went out with Art Bell on Coast to Coast, I was glued to it. But I don't know. I struggle with it. It's not that I don't believe, but I struggle with it. Billy Meyer, yeah, I've tossed in the towel on that one too as well. Where I was all in with Billy Meyer. I was all in with Jonathan Reed. I was all in with Bob Lazar, and I'm just, I could, fun stories, absolutely fun stories. Will make great movies, all of them, but those are three cases I struggle with. Yeah. And I'll let that go. I don't even like talking like that because so many, including myself. I mean, Billy Meyer had me hook, line, and sinker. Bob Lazar had me. Jonathan Reed had me for such a long time. And then when you kind of just let those go, it's like breaking up with a girlfriend or something. You just have to just let it go. It's going to be painful. You're going to struggle with it for a while, but it's best just to move on sometimes. And that's what I've done with those. But with other people, they still resonate with it. And if you do, you do. But those are the ones I struggle with. Most of the other cases I think are all really, really solid because we all have experiences. We all see things. And that's, yeah. Like what happened in my driveway the other night. That was absolutely incredible. That was really cool. I was out there last 2 nights. Went out after the show and just looked up. I was just like, of course there's nothing there, but that was pretty wild to look up and see what I saw. All right, let's see. Let's see what this is. This is long. So many questions. Wants to know, on a few rare occasions, Don Schmitt has discussed personal notes from Hynek, which indicate he investigated the Roswell case before he died. Has his son Paul ever discussed this with you? You know what? I'll bring Paul on the show to talk about this. I have no problems with that. Let's do it that way. without bringing Paul into this in my answer to this, I think that from reading J. Allen Hynek's last 2 or 3 books before he passed away, where he was, I'm going to say he was angry, and because he was, his tone in the books was different. You could just tell that, not that he had regrets and things, but I think that he wanted to take the opportunity to set the record straight from his angle as a scientist on the subjects. So, yes. Now, getting into factual stuff of if he investigated Roswell or if Paul and I ever talked about that, I'll bring Paul on the show and we can do a show just focused on that instead of DMT. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I saw a post. I didn't see it. Somebody sent it to me. About J. Allen Hynek, that today was the anniversary of when he walked on the set, I think, of Close Encounters, or filmed his scene of Close Encounters. Yeah, today's it's weird that question just popped up. All right, let's see what we got next. Hello, Jimmy, Pamela, Sharon, Monica, David, Randy, and all you haters. Hey, Bill. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Why do you think the big podcasters in the UFO space, Jesse Michaels, don't know who he is, but Area 52, oh, that's Chris Ramsey. I don't know who Jesse Michaels is. Don't have Paula Harris on their shows, considering she worked with Hynek for years. Wow, 2 Hynek questions back to back. I don't know. I don't know Jesse Michaels, so I can't comment there. Chris Ramsey, he's a magician. He's getting into this space and stuff, but you're learning as you go. And so maybe he just hasn't had the chance to get to Paula yet. So, I don't know. I can't comment on, hold on for a second. Jesse Michaels, I can't comment because I don't know what his show is or what he's about, but Chris Ramsey's a good dude. So I don't know. A lot of, because I went through this too. Remember, there was a time when I was doing my first shows. And so, looking back at that time, I had a list of 30 or 40 or 50 people that I wanted on the show, immediately. And they were all the big names. And I got them all on, every single one. But that took a few months, 4 or 5 months. And then you go through those, and then you go and you go. These guys and gals who are doing maybe a show a week or a show a month, I don't know the schedule. I don't. I full disclosure, I have never listened or watched a UFO podcast by anybody. I haven't watched, only a couple, but I haven't watched a documentary, the new stuff, right, by anybody, unless they were maybe a guest on this show. Then I've taken the time to watch the documentary or read the book or their podcast. There are a few podcasters that are out there that have been doing it for a while. I watch their stuff from time to time, but I don't know. I've seen Chris Ramsey's short stuff that people send to me, little clips and things. I'm a big fan of his. I like the way that he handles himself. But the other stuff, I don't have the time. And I don't want there or anybody else out there to influence me, to throw me off the scent. I don't care. I don't. I truly don't. I didn't care when I started, and I don't care now. So I don't know, but I do know that I had a long list of stuff, and I still have a long list, and Michelle's got a long list, and it's tough to get everybody on. If we went through, like the whole list, and it would be next year, the year after, to go through the list. It's like that. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff out there. So I don't know. And maybe Paula, if you can reach out to her, she should reach out to them. There you go. All right, let's see. Next up. Oh, Bill. Really? Okay. My man Bill's been on 2 dates. Yeah, date number 1, already date number 2. I'm assuming with the same person in a week. Uh-oh. He's going to be too busy for us very, very, very soon. Let's see. The unknown. Hey, Jimmy, it's me, your old friend. I don't know who you are. I lost a good friend recently. It still bothers. Okay. All right. I'm sorry to hear about your friend. Hold on. Bill is in the action tonight. What? No way. The magnets could have somehow lost magnetism. Oh, is that right? Well, wait. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Okay, but I have nothing but non-magnetic stuff. Everything here is plastic. This is aluminum. What do I have that's like metal? Wow, that's a really, 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 really good point. I need something that's metal. Nothing in my pockets. All right, I'm going to check that. I mean, how? Oh, no. Just stuck to the leg of the desk. No problem on that. So, no, hasn't lost its magnetism. You just, maybe some EMP experiment at Plant 42 reversed. Oh, man. Bill, you're the best. Yeah, poltergeist in the studio. I'm going with that. Let's see. Do you think those Bosnian pyramids are for real? I don't know. I haven't been there. I when I asked Robert Schock about that, he said, dude, I don't want to talk about it. No, they are not. Moving on. It's like, dude, really? Whoa. I don't know. I haven't been there. But that kind of anomaly, that kind of shape is, before you say it's not natural, it is. I was with Scott Walter, and we were on a cruise in Alaska, and we're coming down from Alaska, like past Canada or Alaska, and we're out on, I think we're on the deck of the ship. But what I do remember, I'm standing there with Scott, and I go, dude, a pyramid. And he goes, yeah. And I took pictures of it, and it was a perfect pyramid on the coast, but it's a hill. But I'm telling you, straight shot pyramid. It was really big, but it was a pyramid. And, so I could have easily posted those pictures. Man, found a pyramid in Canada. Check this out. In Alaska. Check this out. And so it's the Bosnian pyramids. I haven't seen anything really convincing myself. I've had that particular, the guy that runs that whole thing over there. I've had him on the show, and I wanted to hear his evidence. I've seen the videos. I've seen the documentaries. I don't know. Could be, I guess. Could be those tunnels and the stuff that are there, right? And when you go through the shafts of the pyramids and you go through stuff like that, like I have, and you see the real deal stuff, and then these, it's just me. Maybe they are pyramids. Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't know. I was never like, whoa, the boss, whoa. No, I was never there with that. Never. Only one question tonight, my man. Is heaven and hell real? As heaven and hell? No. I don't know. Are there other dimensions? Yes. Is there, like, the gates of Hades and burning this and horn and you win? I am Satan. Nah. I don't fear that. Nah. Let's see. Okay, next. Olivia. What's going on, Olivia? If they're going to take it off, they should at least clean it. I know, right? Right? It's magnetic, though. Yep. It's pretty strong, too. It's pretty strong. Olivia. How you doing, Olivia? Olivia's great. Okay, one question. I'm highlighting this stuff. If ghosts are real, then does that mean there's life after death? Oh man, I could spend the whole show. Pete Worth, did you ever play Carmageddon? I did not. Sounds pretty fun, though. Sounds pretty fun. Is that a video game? That sounds pretty good. It's next up, Greg. Hey, Jimmy, can you tell us a funny Jim Marrs story and your favorite Jim Marrs book? Wow. Like from the show, or a funny Jim Marrs story, like in person? Man, that dude was funny. He was just funny. Oh, man. See, we're going back a few years now, too, as well. Okay. I'll tell you a great Jim Marrs story. Great Jim Marrs story. This was 10 years ago. This is 2026. So, yeah, 2016, 10 years ago. And Jim wasn't feeling well, and he couldn't go to Contact in the Desert. And so each night out there in the amphitheater, I would host these panels, and they were pretty epic. I mean, it was like, Graham Hancock and Robert Schock and Robert Bivall and Linda and Stanton Friedman and Richard Dolan, just like on one panel, right? It's just epic. And we would have probably 2,000, 2,500 people, 2,000 people, 2,500 people out there. And so one night I walk out on stage, and I've got Jim Marrs on speakerphone. Okay. So I walk out on stage, and I tell everybody, I said, Jim Marrs, I said, got him on speakerphone. Jim Marrs, say hello to everybody. And I put it up to the microphone, and he's like, hello, Contact in the Desert. And the place just erupts. And I said, Jim couldn't make it, but I just wanted everybody here to just say, we love you, Jim, and give it to him one more time. 1, 2, 3, boom. Place erupts. And I said, Jim, I'll call you after I'm done. Love you, man. Okay, hang up. After we were done that night, I walk off stage, and I called Jim, and I said, wasn't that cool? And he was just crying, just lost it. And it was just one of those moments, for me. Now, funny moments. I mean, the guy was just, especially on the show, I never knew. I had to assume that everything he was saying, he was approaching it with a humor twist because of how he dealt with aliens and conspiracies and Kennedy and the Illuminati and, who's running the world. And he's just a great journalist, a great researcher, and a great writer. But he was funny, and he knew it. So I had to always approach those conversations that I had with Jim that he was cracking jokes because he wanted to make you laugh. And that was the best part of Jim. So doing that night at Contact in the Desert was very special for me personally and for everybody there that was in attendance. So Greg, I appreciate that. I have Jim Marrs' fedora, and Rita, who was his assistant forever, and I still see Rita. I saw her a couple months ago. After he passed, she sent me his fedora, and the white one with the black band on it. And I also got John Anthony West, what do you call that? Helmet, pith helmet. And so after Jim Marrs passed that year, and so did John Anthony West, the next year, the next Contact in the Desert, which I think was the last one at Contact in the Desert, at Joshua Tree, for that panel on Friday night or Sunday night, we put their hats on the microphones, and we ran 2 guests short. We ran with like 4 guests instead of 6. Yeah, I still have both those hats. Okay, Ken Priest is up next. Ken, how you doing, brother? Dude, what was your go-to food? Why is it always food with you, Ken? Why does it always got to be food? Why can't we, why can't we talk? Okay. The last day when we were trying to get flights out of Peru, and we just went through that horrible accident, Ken and I, there was 5 of us trying to get on planes and get back to the States. And we finally, it got everything straightened out. Anyway, that last day, Ken and I and our 3 other friends, we ate. I don't even know, Ken, how many meals did we eat that day? 6? We had breakfast, dessert, we had lunch, dessert, we had lunch number 2 and lunch number 2 dessert. Then we had dinner. Then we went to the airport and sat in an airport lounge, one of those VIP lounges, for like 4 hours and ate the entire time. I have never eaten that much food all day long with Ken Priest. Okay. Dude, what was your go-to food when you got back to the States? Also, you have ruined churros for me because we will never get to Mecca again. Yeah, you're right about that. He's talking about Manolos, this really old, famous churro place in Lima. They're unbelievably great. My go-to food, I don't remember, Ken, and you know why? Because when I got back, I slept for like 72 hours. I slept through the 4th of July. I slept through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and almost didn't make it out of that, but I had to fly to Gaia. But what I do remember was pizza and burgers. That's what I did. I did pizza and burgers. Yeah. Only because the burger stand is up the street from my house. I was sick, and pizza I had delivered. Yeah. And that's why I went there. But I have been going heavy this month on American food. Little Chinese, little Italian. It's about steaks for me, and burgers, and grilled ham and cheese sandwiches, and yeah, I'm kind of scrambled eggs out. I'm kind of out, but yeah, Ken, man, how you doing? I hope you're doing good. Ken and I'm not going to talk about the accident in Peru, but I will say this. Ken and I and everybody else that was with us on that tour went through something that will keep us binded and bound for the rest of our lives. And I can assure you, Ken and I are going to be somewhere in 10 years or 20 years, a couple of old farts somewhere, drinking cocktails with umbrellas in it. And we won't have to say a word to each other. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Ken, I love you, man. I love you. I'm not going to talk about it, but I'll say this. There was a moment. I don't want to get emotional, but there was a moment where the bus is on its side. We've got people laid out in the grass. We're waiting for the police and ambulances and stuff, and nothing is showing up. We've got everybody laid out in the grass. It's a bad scene. And I had done the best that I could to help everybody, get off the bus, get out of the bus. I'm doing this and that, and I get the bus driver in the back of this pickup truck, and he's the first person wheeled out, and he's gone. And I come down the hill, and I collapse in the grass next to Ken, and he's sitting next to me, and I looked up at him, and he's got his head finally wrapped in a bandage, and I looked at him and I said, "I love you, man." He said, "I love you too." And I collapsed in the grass next to Ken. And I had a choice at that moment: stay in the grass, or get up and keep this thing moving forward somehow. And I got up and just continued to work through it until the ambulance showed up, which was like 30 minutes later. That was crazy. And with my bro, Ken, I looked at Ken and I said, Ken, I don't want to say too much here, but I looked at Ken and I go, "Dude, I'm sorry." I didn't even know, in my mind, we were all just mentally just way whacked out. It was insane. It was just a bad movie. And he goes, "For what, man?" I go, "Dude, I'm just," and he goes, dude, it's all right. Let's get through this. So there you go. That's all I'm going to say. Ken, I love you, man. I love you so much. All right. Jimmy, you has a bike. I do. All right, let's see here. Jimmy, bet you had Tim Tactical on the show. Any change you might have David Adair, Emery Smith, or Rick Doty on Fade to Black or Gaia? I mean, I've had all of them on the show many times. I would like to have Emery back on the show. Rick Doty is always a phone call away. I haven't talked to David Adair in about a year, but always great conversations. Yeah. I mean, I've known all of them for such a long time. So I don't know the relationship between Tim Tactical and those three guys, but now having them on Gaia, they have their own shows on Gaia. So having them on, that's up to Gaia to bring them on Beyond Belief, which would be cool. Did I have Rick Doty? I had Doty. Did I have Doty on Into the Vortex? Man, I can't remember. Maybe. Did I? I can't remember. I could go for a Doty night. That's always a good time. What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? Emery is great. I talked to Emery a few months ago, a couple of phone calls with Emery. He's great and he's doing great. So yeah, Lynn, good points all. Okay. All right. I'll see what I can do. It's up to Michelle. Michelle, if you're listening, Emery Smith, Rick Doty, and David Adair, let's get them on Fade to Black as soon as we can. Let's see, where are we at? Let's see. I don't know where what is your, this is from Jack the Lad. What is your opinion of the videos of the 4 files recently released by the government? Oh, well, not to break down all of them individually, but that one video of the one video of that, which, that crap that's all crazy looking, that's pretty interesting. And I did see the comments from Mick West that it was a cluster of balloons. It was a bunch of balloons, tied together. And I went back and I looked at that. I like Mick West, and he's not right all the time. He's not wrong all the time. He's a 50-50 guy. I think he gets a government paycheck, and I like him. I like Mick West, but he was wrong there. I went back and I looked where, now maybe it is. I don't know. But that was interesting. That was pretty interesting. It was interesting enough for me that I was thinking about doing an individual show on that and breaking down that video, because I'm not in agreement with some of the critics on that particular video. I found it interesting. I did. Do you remember was it Afghanistan or Iraq? And one video of, it looked like a transformer flying over whatever. And I looked at that video over and over again. And then I realized in looking at that video, this is my take. It's like a bug on the lens of the camera. Because I'm sorry, wow, that's okay. And then I realized that it never changed its axis. It never changed. If it was going, you would see like my hand, right? So you see the back of my hand, and now you see the right. It never did that in the video. It was perfectly right. It was like it never So that was something stuck to the glass, the lens, or whatever. But not in this case. Not in this case. Yeah, something strange going on with that video. For sure. I'm so with you. Okay, let's see. Timothy Adams. Lots of natural disasters of late. Are we looking at a disaster? Any idea? No. Let me explain. I remember 5-6 years ago doing a string of news each night, but back when I did the news as part of Fade to Black. Now it's two separate things. I remember my comments were how crazy the natural disasters were. Now, if you want to refresh your memory, we had like 10 hurricanes in 2 months. Remember that? One after another. Florida, New Orleans, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Cuba, right? And it was relentless. And at the same time, all right, it was the typhoons that were going on and the things that were happening over in India and the Pacific Ocean. It was insane. And at the same time, we had flooding going on in the United States. At the same time, we had the fires that were going on in Canada and California. It was that 6-month run. I just thought, man, this stuff is manufactured. It's just too crazy. But then I just had to stop and like put everything in perspective. It's always like this. It's always like this. I know that there's climate change going on. I'm not saying it's man-made. I'm not saying it's natural. I don't know. But it seems that and I'm 62. Every year of my life, it's been the coldest winter on record or the hottest summer on record. Every year. Every year. Every year it's the coldest it's ever been. It's the hottest it's ever been. It's the wettest it's ever been. It's been the most tornadoes ever. It's been the most this. It's like it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Are things a little bit warmer now? Yeah. Yeah, but last winter, I also had 2 weeks of snow in my yard in the Mojave Desert. And it wasn't that hot of a summer. And it was a pretty cold winter. And I really enjoyed it. And here I am a year later. And it's super hot out. And it's been this way for a couple of weeks. We have got fires everywhere going on right now. Not only here in the United States, but in Canada. And is it extreme? Man. I remember being over in the valley before I moved out here, watching my city burn. Yeah. Yes. So, I don't know. I don't feel. I just think it's normal. I do. Okay. Let's see. Jimmy, what's the most terrifying situation you have ever been in? Not dealing with other people's, but something you could not explain or didn't understand. In the terrifying sense? Terrifying? Okay. All right. Back. Yeah, I mean, that just takes me to one situation that, I mean, like, really scared me. 1987, 88, 87. I'm dating this girl. Her name's Kira. I'm in my mid 20s. I'm 24, 25 years old. And she's living in Hollywood. And on Franklin, across from Scientology. She's got a house, a back house. And one night after the clubs closed, we're going to all meet at her house at 2:30 in the morning. Clubs close at 2. So I get to her house. She's in the back house. Nobody lives in the front house. And I pull up. And there's no cars there yet. So nobody was there. And I pull up. And I'm the first car. I'm pulled back by the garage. And her house is off to my left. And I'm waiting for everybody to get there. And I look over at the house, right? And there's a front porch. I just happen to look over and I see there's a big picture window, like 8 foot by 4 foot in the living room. And I see somebody looking at me with the curtains pulled to the side like this. And I see the angle of the curtains and I see this face. And I'm like, oh, her roommate's here and she's not letting me in. And this pissed me off. And so I get out of my car and I'm walking up. Now there's nobody in the window now, but because I'm assuming the door is going to swing open. Hey, Jimmy, what's going on? Come on in. All right, cool. But that didn't happen. And so I wait for a minute on the front porch. Nobody opens up the front door. Clearly, whoever's looking out of the window, my car's 20 feet away. We're looking at each other, right? Okay. I knock on the door. Nobody answers. I knock on the door. I'm getting more pissed. I knock on the door again. I'm like, what the fuck? So now I'm mad and I go back and I sit in my car, right? Kira pulls up in back of me and another car pulls up behind Kira. And I get out of the car and I'm like, what's going on, man? Your roommate, whatever her name was, it's in there. She looked at me, but didn't open the door. She goes, "What are you talking about?" And the car behind her is her roommate with her boyfriend, this guy, Chris, who's an actor, still is an actor. And Chris Malecki, look him up, Chris Malecki. So Chris gets out and he's, big dude. And I said, somebody's in the house. And so, because now it's not her, it's just Kira and her roommate that live there. I'm looking at both of the girls are there. And then Chris and I, the two boyfriends, there should be nobody in the house. So now we're thinking, Chris and I, that somebody's broken in to the house and is in there. So Chris and I go up, we get the keys, we open up the front door, we go in, we're ready to, and there's nobody there. Nobody there. Back door is locked. And I walked back to the window, and this is where I freaked. I freaked out. I mean, I got scared. I opened up the curtains like the head, and I looked at my car, which is right there. And I pulled them back and went, shit. I think I saw a ghost. And wow. Right? Okay. So the next day, this is where this question of yours, this is why I think of this. All right. The next day, we wake up and the landlord is there, and he was Asian cat, older guy. And he's in the back. He's like doing gardening or something. In the front house, nobody lived in. And I'm talking to him. And I asked him a couple of questions, and he said, no. Nobody lives in the house because my son committed suicide last year here. I don't rent the house out. What'd you just say? And that was it. After that, I never went back. I kind of visited. I never spent the night there. I never went back. I was an official ghost. Yeah. Terrifying. Terrifying. And it was sort of terrifying until the landlord made it really terrifying. There you go. All right, next up. Jose, Jimmy, did the Mars... Let me see if I'm reading this right. Jimmy, did the Mars breakaway... That was Jim Mars again. Jimmy, did the Mars breakaway civilization actually ever happen in our history, or was it all planned disinformation campaign to confuse and entertain us? Well, don't know. I don't know. Richard Dolan puts forth a pretty interesting case with this. And if you go back to the original BBC documentary that aired on BBC, I can't remember the name of it, something 3, which threw this out there. There were people in England that saw that thought that it was a real documentary, like that this was real, missing scientists. And so anyway, it's always been an interesting concept and a possibility. And like I said, the way that Richard Dolan has written about this and talked about this, he puts together a pretty convincing and compelling argument and position on this. And then and it's always, fun to think about, it's a thought experiment. And then you look at where we are today with these missing scientists that are happening. And I just don't know. because that part of it's real. What we're going through right now, that part of it's real. But you go back to the breakaway civilization, and you go back to the original documentary on the BBC, mockumentary, where is it possible? Well, I remember running numbers maybe 10 years ago. I ran numbers. And you can do this yourself. You can go country by country. You can go worldwide. Doesn't matter. Missing persons reports. Persons reports unsolved. Missing persons that are still missing and never found. And go and look at those numbers. And so when you go, and I did, and I don't know what I was expecting, but what I found out was definitely not what I was expecting, which is it in the hundreds? People that went missing and have never been found that are still missing. It's millions. Every single year. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people here in the United States that go and never found. And so you break that down and you go, okay, well, how many just wanted to disappear? Okay, it's kind of impossible these days. It's very difficult. It's not like the old days. But is it some of that? Is it some people that were abducted? Some people that were, estranged marriages and lovers, runaway children, runaway kids, people that got out of relation. Is it that? Some people that just wanted to just disappear. Is it that? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yes. And then there's the other part where there's zero explanation. Sex trade, human trafficking. Yeah, okay. Yes. The point that I'm making is the numbers are huge. I was not expecting that. So the questions of, is a breakaway civilization possible? Do people actually disappear like this? Well, okay, so if we take these, dozen or so missing scientists that we're all aware of right now, and then do a deep dive into those, 100,000 missing people that have never been found, unresolved cases in the United States, 150,000, whatever that number is. Worldwide, it's a really big number. But take that and then break that down by occupation, students, children, adults, men, women, break that down. And then what were their jobs and what were they doing? I think we should do an analysis on that and break that down and see really what's going on. Yeah. It's a bigger number than any of us, and I talked about this for quite a while. And it's one thing to go conspiratorial on this stuff. But unresolved, just disappeared. If I wanted to just disappear, how easy is that? You have your identity, you have your digital fingerprint, so you would have to digital footprint. So you're going to have to change social security numbers. You're going to have to, new names and all of that, and somehow wiggle your way into a community somewhere in some remote thing and just and never be seen again. Is that possible? It's got to be extremely difficult to do it on your own. So to have assistance, that's a different story. Crazy. Next up, Maximus Okay, I can't read that, but here you go, Max. What are your thoughts on Phil Schneider? He was oh, man. If you look at Phil Schneider, the original Dulce whistleblower. I wish there was more video of his presentations out there. The videos that are out there are grainy and I wish we had better stuff of Phil, but you can hear what he's having to say for sure. He was a contractor. He was an engineer. Worked at the Dulce base. They're digging holes. They're doing this and tunnels. And he goes down. They break through the bottom, and the stench comes up. And he goes in, and it's a gunfight at the OK Corral with aliens, and the shootout and all of that. He gets blasted in the stomach. He's got fingers shot off. He's disabled, and he's pretty messed up from the whole thing. And he goes out on the circuit and does his presentations. Okay. He's got no fingers, right? The digits are missing. I think he was in a wheelchair for a minute. He's in a hotel and dies. When you look at the original police reports of that, a guy with no fingers, his wheelchair is sitting in the hotel room. He's got no fingers and somehow gets surgical tubing around his neck. And that's just me. It's just me. You can go and you can read the police reports of that. Tragic, yes. Suspicious of the highest order. So, Phil Schneider. Yeah. It's a crazy case. I don't know. Let's see. This is from Millie Wild. In Peru, what was your favorite food or drink? Man, Peruvian cuisine is the best. When you get up, my favorite drink in Peru, Inca Cola. Can you get Inca Cola here? Hold on. I'm going to switch this to Amazon. Let's see. Amazon.com right now. I'm doing it in real time. Inca Cola. Can I get it? Yes, you can. You can't get it by the bottle, but you can get the cans. Oh, there's I want the glass bottle. Pack of 12, $32. There it is. 20, $60 expensive. Inca Cola. Look it up. All the sugar you can handle, man. And wow. I can get it right there. All right. I'm doing it. I just got me some Inca Cola. Just like that. I'll let you know if it's as good as Peruvian food. Man, I don't do any of the whack stuff there. I'm not having alpaca ribs. Nah. I don't want to know. Don't want to find out. Cuy. Not going to find out. Not going to do it. I know Ken Priest did. But yeah. I'll eat all that stuff. Not the cuy, not the alpaca, but all the traditional Peruvian dishes. Yeah, bring it. Really good. But Inca Cola, that stuff will change your life, man. Inca Cola and Inca chips, Inca potato chips. You would think, well, first off, Peru invented potatoes, so they know how to make potato chips. But you would think that the United States has potato chips dialed. We don't. You go to Peru and you have Inca chips, game changer. Inca chips, doesn't matter what variety, bag of Inca chips and Inca Cola, your day is set. Your day is set. Guitar pick or not, pros and cons. Dwayne Allman played without a pick. A lot of people look at Jeff Beck. He went with a pick for the first half of his career and no pick on the second half of his career. Billy Gibbons plays with a quarter, with a peso or something. Doesn't play with a guitar pick. I do both. Here's a guitar pick here. What I do is, if I'm going to play without a pick, I do the tuck, right? Pop, 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 and it goes there. And then I can do that and I'll play with my finger, but it goes tuck. But I've always got a pick in my hand. I do not see how natural that is. Right. Pop, just right there. So I can play like this. Okay. Or play with my index finger. But my picks are sharpened, as you can see. They're all sharpened. This is a Dunlop Tortex. But I do too much chirping, and I have a picking style that I do. And I that's my sound. That's my thing. That's my style. So, but when I do need to do this, boom, that goes like that. And so that's me. So I will always play with a pick. I can't believe Jeff Beck made the transition. And I think what he said was one day he dropped his pick on stage. He didn't have a spare pick to grab. He was forced into playing with his fingers, and he never looked back. All right. So, look at Mark Knopfler. It can go either way. Let's see. This is from the Mothership, Betty Joe. Oh, hey, Betty Joe. The Mothership, Betty Joe. Betty Joe's been with us for years. Betty Joe, do you ever or have you ever gone camping? Betty's one of those. She's got life figured out. She loves to camp. Does the van life. She's out there doing it, and her videos are the best. I haven't camped. My camping has been in an RV. A nice RV of late, but I am looking at, okay. All right. This is a really good question, and I'm going to answer this directly. I've got 2 trips booked. Okay. On my Harley. So on my Streak Light. One of them is going to be to the Devil's Tower in Wyoming. It's a 6-day trip. It's 2 days on the road up, 2 days on the road back. Each day on the road is going to be about 9 hours of riding. And will involve some camping. So I will have a tent. I will do all of that. I may do some motel stops, but I'm planning on camping. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I've got that. So yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. The other trip that I've got planned is to the Grand Canyon, which may happen this weekend. Okay. All right. The only reason why, when I say may, I've got a new seat coming in for my Streak Light, and it's going to be here tomorrow. If all of that works out, the new seat, because the seat that I have a Saddleman road sofa, and it sucks. It's shit. Expensive too. $800 for that seat, and I can't stand it. There's no way I'm only good for 60 minutes on that seat, so there's no way I can ride for 9 hours with that seat. So I've got the Mustang coming in, and it's the deluxe touring seat, and it's the best seat that, there's only a couple of companies at that level that, and Saddlemen is one. I took that, I tested it, and here I am 4,000 miles later, and the Saddlemen is shit. Saddlemen, do you hear me? Your road sofa is not a road sofa. It's the opposite, road concrete. But the Mustang's going to be here tomorrow. If the Mustang works out, then Grand Canyon, and then sometime next month or so, I'm going to the Devil's Tower, and I'm going to camp. I'm going to pack the bike up. I've got everything ready to go, the right luggage, straps, the whole thing, and camera gear. I'm going to just archive the whole thing. Maybe, I'll put some videos out, maybe a movie, and so forth. So yeah, Betty Joe, I'm totally into it. And Betty Joe, if you're going to be up and around the Grand Canyon, I don't know where you are right now. You know how to get a hold of me, but maybe I will come and see you. Jimmy, how can a person get on your program? Get a hold of Michelle. Michelle's the boss. I've given her, that's it. Michelle. Freed Media. Yeah, get a hold of Michelle. If you want to email me, you can, and I'm just going to hand it off to Michelle. She handles everything. All right, let's see. Jimmy, it's Amy. Rainbow. Amy, what are you doing? Call me and ask me this question. You got to do it here. She's literally 2 blocks away. Like right 2 blocks away. Jimmy, what's your favorite Muppet? Man, Kermit's my favorite Muppet. I like the drummer too. What was the drummer's name? Was his name Monster? Oh man. Kermit's my favorite Muppet. But any Muppet, oh man. Any Muppet from Labyrinth. I'm just going to say it right now. Anyone. Amy, this is a very important question. What is your favorite Muppet? Amy. She could come over, knock, and just come in and sit down right here and ask me that question, but she's got to do it here on the show. Let's see. Is it Jana? Jana Graham. Jana Graham. Did you know that President Nixon left a time capsule in the White House about alien info? Sure wish Trump would find it. I don't know. Trump's. Anyway. Did he? Email me your evidence of that. I would love to do that on the show. Let me do some research. I mean, we all know about the Jackie Gleason story down there in Homestead, which I think is real. I think that actually happened. I'll do a cruise, not Alaska. Yeah, I know. I'm not too busy to go camping. I just told you I'm going camping. I've got it on the books. Let's see here. Fellow Q. Let's see. Jimmy, why are you so awesome? I don't know. When you started your journey, did you think of the paranormal subjects as a joke? No, I never did. None of it. I still don't. What made you believe in? Why didn't you explain? I don't know how old you are, fellow, but when I was growing up, there was so at that tender age, right? 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Through that period, everything was happening at that time. The Bermuda Triangle, the Time Life books, Eric Von Daniken, In Search Of. You had TV shows like Space 1999, and you had Star Trek. You had the stuff that was going on Land of the Lost on Saturday mornings. All of these things, Bigfoot, all of these things, $6 Million Man, UFO, the TV series, all of this was happening at the same time. And so at that age, I just thought this was what life was about. You know, Time Magazine, Time Life, and they had that book series. That's like nonfiction books that were being put out, you know, about the. So I never questioned any of it. You know, I try to use discernment now and question what things where they need to be questioned. But when all of that was going on, weird stuff is going on in my life and in my friend's life and in my family's life. And yeah. So and my mom and my Aunt Z and their Ouija board stuff that they were doing. I just, you know, it was just life. So I was always on that path. I was always there. That was always my accepted reality. Yeah. Yeah. And it didn't matter if it was, you know, Walter Cronkite on the news or 60 Minutes, the newspaper coming. I just thought that everybody's view on life and their experiences were the same as mine. So, yeah. As an adult where I encounter normies, you know, people that don't necessarily follow this stuff or care about it. I find that I've always found them to be the exception in my circle growing up and to this day. I think that all of us share it. And I think that it's always been that way. Always. So, yeah, it's not like anything changed my point of view. Let's see. Jimmy, do you know the real story on the mix-up on the Mandela effect? Hint, there was a song about the person. I don't know what you're referring to there. So thank you, Jimmy. Miss and love all of his books talking about Jim Marrs. Let me see how much more I can squeeze in here. Betty Joe, only one question. Email me, though. Email me. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure what this is. This is from Catherine. What do you know about the aliens over the oil? It feels. Are you talking about the cases that were going down in the video from the mid 2000s? Yeah. I've had them on the show. If that's what you're talking about, those were some pretty compelling cases, testimony, videos, and photographs. I know a lot about it. What I will say is something definitely was going down. There were a lot of witnesses to all of that activity. So Okay, I'm going to read this whole thing. Hey, Jimmy, this is from Anthony. As someone whom had out of body experiences with a smoky tethered line thing while diving into my partner's dream and confirmed later on that day, and also premonitions, CEs, etc. What the hell, man? Welcome to my world. Yeah, I love all of that. I haven't had a real shared dream. I haven't. Like somebody calling me up and going, dude, Jimmy, I dreamt about you last night. I dreamt about you too. What? No, I haven't had that. Or with a partner in bed. No. Yeah, and I don't know where I heard this from, but I remember getting the information that if you sleep with your spines touching, right, but both of your backs are like this and your spines are touching, that you can share a dream that way. I've tried. Never really happened. Never really happened. This is from Kira. Oh, really? Kira. Not that Kira. Do you believe in reincarnation? I do. I do believe in reincarnation. What was that movie from the 70s? The Reincarnation of Peter Proud. I've never seen that movie. Yeah. I think reincarnation's, yeah, I do. And especially when you look at the Dalai Lama. Yeah, read about the history of the Dalai Lama. That's pretty crazy. Jimmy, have you ever had David Paulides on the show? I have. He called in on Fader Night once too as well. Yeah. Let's see what this is. What is it? All God's children. Jimmy, what is your definition of faith? And what does it mean to the way you live your life? Okay. That's an open-ended question. One that I would never run away from. But if we were sitting next to each other, I would say, okay, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about Jesus? Are we talking about Christianity? Are we talking about Catholicism? Or are we talking about spirituality or something beyond that? We need some clear definitions here. All right. But I'll answer you directly because you said the way you live your life. All right. This is how I live my life. Every night before I go to bed, I do this. Thank you, universe. Thank you. I do. I thank you, Jesus. No. Not thank you, Jesus. That's not what I'm saying. I say, thank you, universe. Thank you. That's what I do. I do every single night. All right. What do I do when I wake up in the morning every day? Throw the blankets back, throw my feet on the ground. I stand up and go, thank you, universe. Thank you. That's what I do. Why? The universe has got it all figured out. And there are too many of those synchronicities and those things that happen all day long and that I watch very closely and I use them to guide my life. You guys hear that? Sound like a growl. Paranormal activity, man. I'm imagining it. I imagined it. Okay, so anyway, the universe is there. So now push that beyond the surface level stupid way that my brain works. All right. So if you push it past that, what am I actually thinking? What am I doing here with that? I would say that I am recognizing and thanking whoever is reading my book, whoever is guiding me through this path of life, which includes the last 30 days. I flew back from Peru on the 1st, July 1st. Today is July 23rd. So the last 30 days have been a test. Not only a test, but also a lesson and something that you have to learn from. So even through all of that, I mean, I have been tested. All of us are being tested. I'm not unique. Ken Priest, right here in the chat tonight. Ken has absolutely 100% shared my experience and everything that I am talking about right now the last 30 days. He is absolutely experiencing the same thing. And so are the 32 people that were on that bus. Right? Every single one of them. It didn't stop at the 20 seconds that the accident happened. You know, it goes past that. It's the next day, the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next month. How about the rest of your life? Right? Well, okay. So what do we get out of through all of that? I'm still, thank you, universe. Thank you. And I mean, tested hard. I was calling friends of mine, including Amy, who's in the chat. I'm calling my friends and my family and going, when is this going to stop? I need to catch a break. I need a day. I need 8 hours of a day of no bullshit. Just one. Right? Well, that's the universe. That's the universe. And I'm not in any way focusing on me. And I'm not, no. Not only was there 32 other people on that bus, but there's also 8 billion people on this planet, all being tested all the time. And that's it. None of us are unique. I mean, we're all unique, but none of us are just like getting, no. We're all, that's it. What have I learned from? That's what I have learned. Man, you just got to pull your pants up, tighten up your shoes, and continue to put one foot in front of the other. Because tapping out and backing up and giving up, that's not what life is about. It's not. It's not. And as rough as this 30 days has been for all of us that were on that bus, there's There's people out there struggling and dealing with their own things too. That's what life is about. So if I can use this show or my position with any of this when we're talking about, what is faith? Have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, and continue to just put one foot in front of the other. That's it. All of us. All of us. All of us. All right. I'm not going to make Peru a story. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to get into specifics of any of it. That's not what it's about. But if I will say one thing that I have learned is, man, just move forward. Just 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time. Yeah, it turns into that, but just 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Just constantly move forward, move forward. That's what I've learned, and that's faith. That's faith. That's faith. Pure faith. All right, let's see what's next. Man, Ken Priest is just hanging out tonight. Inca Cola. Yeah, no doubt. Let's see. I saw one frozen at the Latin supermarket. $30. Oh man. I don't think we have one in Palmdale, but the Vallarta markets in LA is where you could go for all of that stuff. I won't starve in any country. Ken Priest is all about food, man. All about food. All about food. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, just shoot me an email. I'm talking to Betty Joe. After the Devil's Tower, come to Thermopolis, Wyoming, the home of. Man, you don't have spaces in between your words, Betty Joe. I can't. It looks like Russian when it's all run together. Okay, let's see. I'll keep this going until we run out of questions. Don't forget Audrey Rose movie about reincarnation. Oh, I'm going to recommend something really quick to everybody. I didn't know. Let me pull this up. Hold on. I'm going to pull this up on another screen. Let me slap this over here. All right. Okay. And without saying what I'm going to say, all right, here we go. I watched this the other night, man, and it was so good. Okay. There's a movie from 1981. It's called Sphinx. One word. And it's with Leslie Ann Down. And Frank, what's that guy's name? Frank Langella. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up what is his name? Man, he's so good. Yeah, Frank Langella, Leslie Ann Down. It's called Sphinx. And Leslie Ann Down, it's about the antiquities trade, the black market in Egypt. And they go to all the sites. It's incredible. Such a great movie. And it's by the director that did like the Boys from Brazil, Boys from Brazil, and a few other things. I can't remember the director's name. I could look it up. Hold on. Franklin Schaffner. And I'm going to tell you, man, it's a great movie. 1981, Leslie Ann Down. Go and watch it. Just spectacular. I mean, I couldn't believe how good that movie was. I'm going to watch it again. I bought it. It's that good. It's that good. I'm going to keep this going until we run out of questions tonight. I'm all about that. Just as I say that, I got to the end. All right, everybody. There you go. Tonight's my Friday night. It is your Thursday, but it is my Friday night. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. I really enjoy doing these AMAs. We'll do another one in about a month. We try to do them once a month. So just thank you to everybody. And I can't believe you didn't say it back then. I don't know what you're talking about. 1981. Yeah, it's a really good movie. Sphinx, Leslie Ann Down. Why? I'm serious. There is some stuff in a tomb, and the way that the treasures of Seti the First, the way that, I mean, it's just like, what? This is amazing. I'm telling you, widescreen, but all of it, because they go to everything, man. They go to Kamambo, they go to Karnak, they go to Luxor, they go to Saqqara. Of course, they're at Giza. Watching her having breakfast or lunch at the Mina house in front of the Great Pyramid, just seeing that, and in the background on one of the scenes, I could see the room that I stayed at the old Mina houses right in the background. A very high quality film, the way that it's shot and the way that it's done. It's really cool. It's an adult film. It's not for kids. There's some shooting. There's some stuff that goes on. Anyway, it's really good. Really good. It's called Sphinx, 1981. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Hopefully I'll have that Mustang seat here tomorrow and it fits me right. I'm going to do a test drive, and if that does go down, I'm off to the Grand Canyon this weekend. I'm going to go and do that. I can get out there and back in a day. So there you go. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. We'll see you right back here on Monday. But for now, all I've got is Gobekli Tepe. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Special thanks to Bill, John, Dex, Jessica, Dennis, and Kevin. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music by Doug Aldrich. Intro, Space Boy. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2024 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Gobekli Tepe.